Hi, everybody. Welcome to tonight's training. So unfortunately, the weather got us again, but that's okay. But thank God we have these opportunities to do Zoom. So we're very fortunate in that regard. So what I did is basically took our entire training that I had planned to do all in person and put it into a PowerPoint slideshow. And of course, this is recording for playback as always. So I currently have everybody muted at the moment. So you will stay muted just so I go through everything. Tonight's training is going to be broken down into 2 calls. The first one is going to just focus on some information that I'll be presenting to everybody. And then the second call, so we'll have an intermission break for bathrooms, drinks, things like that. And then the second one, what that will basically entail is I'm going to go over just a couple updates for the team, something that you're going to have for a little bit of a homework assignment, but I promise you it's a great thing. And also recognition as well as prize drawing then at the end for whoever joined us live. So at the moment, we have 6 people joining us live, and I know we typically end up having more people that jump on then after a little bit. So first of all, I just want to thank all of you for coming on tonight and taking time out of your snowy, icy night. I appreciate that. As many of you know, I've been working closely with our home office team. We have anywhere from 50 to 60,000 consultants, and there's a group of 120 of us selected to work on leadership and helping support their team. So I got selected to do that. So I've been working closely with them for leadership trainings. So tonight what I'm going to do is present something to you that, number one, the company is really promoting and has for the last 30 years. Well, probably longer, probably like 37 years, basically since we've almost been in business. And it's going to take you and your business to another level if you truly grasp this concept and you listen into everything. So welcome to our training tonight. I'm going to go ahead and share our screen. I'm going to get started right now. All right, so here we go. And of course, everybody knows my technology is always just so amazing where I live. So bear with me as we go to the next slide. Maybe. As always. Here we go. Okay, there we go. So first of all, what I want to say to you is how proud I am to be your leader in our organization. If you look around on our Facebook team page, so we have the Team Boyle page, and you join in any of our Tip Tuesday calls or any of our other Zoom trainings, what you're going to notice is an unbelievable group of people. We have people in our group that are talented, we have people that are supportive, and we have a lot of hardworking individuals. During my day job, I work with a lot of great people, but there's just something about Pampered Chef that seems to draw in a whole different clientele of people into our business. one of the things I've learned over the last 4 years of being with the company is that we seem to draw in the most amazing and genuine people that I've ever met. Everyone is always cheering everybody on. Everybody's always very supportive, and everybody is just a true team player and really out to help everybody and share what knowledge they have to share with others. So what I like to look at it as is that we are very blessed when we are given this opportunity. Now, whether you are somebody that is doing this business, and whether you're single or you're married, you're dating, whether you have children or you don't, whether you work outside your home or this is just a part-time gig for you, whether you are a stay-at-home parent, involved in community around where you live, involved in the church, have a huge social life or really don't have one and you're more of a homebody, all of you is amazing and all of you are amazing and all of you bring something that offers something to the team and to others in our organization. So my point basically is that our business is always mixed with so many different people with so many different backgrounds that come from so many different avenues, and that there really is no one size fits all in the business, because really the business is for everybody. There is one unique quality that we all have together, and it's the fact that we are binded together through Pampered Chef. So we basically partner together, but just like Miss Elsa here, we are unique with our qualities, but we are powerful. Okay. So one of the things I always tell everybody is in this business, you can never look at somebody else and compare yourself and Pampered Chef, because everybody is going to have their own story. Everybody's going to advance at their own speeds. And realistically, anybody can move further in the company or do what they want with this business. So it doesn't matter if you're a homebody that really doesn't have a lot of social networks, we can train you and help you to do that. Maybe you're super social, maybe you want to pull back, no matter what, this business is for everybody. Okay, the next part here. So I know oftentimes when people first initially join our Pampered Chef team, there is that sense of being scared. I'm sure all of you on the other end can relate to me that whenever you start anything new, it's scary. A new job, having a baby, getting married. We walk through different steps in our life, and at times, when we try things, we always start with hesitation and we second guess ourselves. So maybe you're somebody that when you join the business, you decided to join for extra money. Or maybe you're somebody sitting on the end that just decided to join for adult time. Or maybe you really like our free products and you would love to get more discounted rates or just free. Or maybe you're somebody that could really use a boost in self-confidence and you join just for recognition purposes. You do it for your own reasons. That's what's nice about this is we all have our reasons why. Look around and see how many amazing differences there are between all of you that are even joining us just tonight. Yet, it's that whole idea that even though we are all unique and different, we still can work together in order to reach our goals and to achieve big things. Whether we all value the products, we value the company and each other. So it's right here that basically we model to each other respect. It's a whole level of respect within our organization. We have a sense of togetherness where we're always sharing ideas on the team page. You're being supportive. You're being each other's cheerleaders. So the way I look at this is that we are really one big family that really many of us didn't even know each other when we started this venture, but you trusted me enough to give it a whirl and see where it would take you. So that to me, I just want to thank you for that because I appreciate that. And I'm so honored basically to be your leader. Now, this company is far more than many of us dreamed when we first started. I know Jill recently mentioned that comment to me. So if you're new, you're about to experience some pretty amazing things starting to happen within your life and different memories and moments that you probably didn't expect. I want you to think of your customers, specifically maybe one that bought a Mix and Chop. A Mix and Chop has been around for years and is probably our top selling product since it came out. So to some, it's a small tool, but to others, you as a consultant have given them back the gift of time and making their lives a little bit easier when they're meal prepping. You made the difference in their lives and in their families' lives. Who would think just a simple Mix and Chop could be so powerful? Or maybe you think back to a host that needed a girls' night out because they've just been down in the dumps and really feeling depressed. We all have those rough periods. And so often lately, everybody's so busy, people don't take the time to get together with other people. So maybe you are that consultant that asked somebody to host a party, and now that girls' night turned into a night of getting together with friends, laughs, and a night for her to forget her worries. So by the end of the night, she's thanking you for being the most amazing consultant, maybe not even listening to a word you said, but giving her the gift of getting together with friends and family to give her a night of just pure fun. Or think about you and your experience with Pampered Chef. Maybe the host that who didn't know how to cook, maybe now she calls you instead of going through a drive-through and asks you for a meal recommendation. So maybe now she's able to provide her first healthy meal to her family. And maybe she's in tears because she's so grateful to you by giving her that opportunity. See, so often when we first begin this journey, we feel like we bother people. I'm sure some of you on the other end can relate right now when you're afraid to start asking for bookings, when you're very early in the business, or even if you kind of go in a lull and come back a little bit. Sometimes we feel like we're bothering people, but really it's just a mindset. You don't have to know that everyday people have things that happen. And sometimes those everyday things that happen will cause them to tell us no. It doesn't mean no forever. It just might mean no right now. And, sometimes God sends us into their lives. And so when somebody pops into your mind, you're like, oh, I should ask that person. Maybe there's a higher power helping us because maybe we're going to be that person that makes a difference in that person's life. You just never know. Now I want you to think a little bit about how this has changed your life. Maybe you went from making a simple meal for your family to getting it done faster and even healthier. Or maybe now you're in your kitchen more often making memories with your kids, teaching them skills that they can pass down to their own families. Or maybe you got a paycheck, and maybe that paycheck was just enough to save your home from a foreclosure. There's so many reasons why people join this business. But you see, as consultants, we have a huge, huge power. Every day, just like Elsa and Anna, and if you watch the movie Frozen, lives can be changed in just minutes. Sometimes others need us to come into their lives to help them to pave the way. We truly can make a difference and help them have a vision to set goals and to conquer things that they've always dreamed of. So now I want you to imagine if you shared our opportunity with another person. Think about what it's done for you. And tonight I'm going to ask some of you that have been with me for a little while or in the business, share out on our team page what Pampered Chef has done for you. My personal experiences, I started for fun. In doing so, I never imagined I'd pay off a $28,000 loan in a year. I never imagined I'd pay $3,000 cash for Brody to go to private school in one payment. I never imagined we'd pay for a $6,000 Disney trip in cash over a span of 3 months. I never imagined that we would dream of building a home and actually think that we could actually do that, when really we never had extra money to spend. A year and a half ago, we purchased land for $50,000, and at this moment, we owe about $20,000 on that land as of today. So you see, I'm giving you numbers, but they're just the facts of what this business can do for you and for others. And sometimes maybe people join not for any money or economical reasons at all, but maybe because they need this to boost their confidence. Maybe they need this because they want to be a part of something even bigger. When you think about what I just said about how we touch our customers' lives, our own families' lives, hosts, and maybe friends, can you see why I have become so passionate about asking you to join my team and asking you to share the business opportunity with other people? We share with others so that we can gift them with this opportunity so that they too can change their lives. We cannot prejudge people and we cannot choose for them, but instead we must give everybody the opportunity to choose for themselves. So think about it. The more that we share, the more that we help others, and the more people that we can get to know better and welcome to our Pampered Chef family and our organization. So we're going to take a minute now, and I want you to think about home ownership. Okay? Many of you on our team call. Oh, Lisa, you can't see it. Are you guys able to see is everybody able to see this? Give me a thumbs up. Can you see the PowerPoint? Okay, good. Sorry, your text message just came through and lit up my phone like, oh no, they can't see the PowerPoint. Okay, sorry. So give me 1 second here. Let me go back to where I was. Okay, so let's think now for a minute about home ownership, because most of you own a home, right? Which comes with expenses. So right now, all of you are currently on my team, and essentially you are all living in my house right now, because that's kind of how this works. And yes, we have a full house, which is super duper fun because I love all of you dearly. And I love that our house is full with our team members. But when you get to become a director within our company, it means you get to move out. Can you all think back to when you were moving out of your parents' house? How excited, how scared you may have been? But then you got in there and you had control and you got to make choices of your own, right? So some of you may move out of my house and you may choose to take some of your team members with you once you become a director. Directors encourage you to invite everyone to our neighborhood, because if you become a director, and even if you don't, we are the cool kids. You ever feel like you're one of the cool kids? Because we are. We're the best ones around, right? We are the PC team here. We're a family. So it's more fun when you invite the cool kids to join us because we're the coolest ones around. So that's why we invite people to share in our business opportunity. Okay? Now my slide. There we go. So let's talk about some different ways tonight that you could get to own your home. Now, this has been a big part of our Lead Plus program that I'm involved with our home office. And what it is making sure you all are aware of what opportunity awaits for you and that we can empower you to own your own homes, okay? So let's take a look at Anna and Elsa here, all right? So let's just say Elsa, in her powerful ways, gets Anna to join in, and she has one person now on her team. They live now, they are still actually living both in my house, so Elsa just moved Anna into my house. So basically right now, what's going to happen is when Anna and Elsa both submit $150 in sales, Elsa gets to promote to a senior consultant. So she moves up a leader or a level in the leadership. Now, what does that really mean? What it means is that Elsa is going to get 1% pay raise every month to start her sales. So that 1%, you think 1%? Oh, trust me, people, it adds up fast, that 1%. Now, what also happens is now she has her first team member and she's going to get an additional raise. See, part of our job is when we add team members is because we want to be their biggest support and cheerleaders. So it's not about us, it's about them and making sure that we can help them to be successful. In order to do that, since we don't really get paid on a clock, we get paid based on commission. You get a 1% override for all of Anna's sales because you're supporting her and training her. So that's how the kickback is. Now, say you decide you are having so much fun that more people want to join the Cool Kids, and now Olaf just joined in. Now you have 2 team members. What that means is that when you sell $150 in sales, but you specifically, as their leader, sell $750 and it joined together, you will promote to what's called a team leader. Now, leaders lead, but our goal in the business is to basically for all of us to learn to become more inspirational leaders. And that is much later. We'll talk about that. So now, what does this mean when you have 2 members? Well, it means more recognition, it means another pay raise, and it also means that now you're making a % off each of your team member sales. So not that you're retiring yet, but you're certainly getting closer, and you are going to have friends in your network, and you're going to grow together. So it's an amazing opportunity for you. All right. So now Elsa invited the whole team. Everybody's joining in. And now one of the things that you want to start to think about is as you start to go up the ladder of leadership, this is when you really want to focus in on having 8 bookings or submitting at least $2,500 in sales every month to build your consistency. Because what happens is as we get closer and closer to directorship, having those $2,500 in personal sales will pave the way for you and your team to stay as an active director at all times. So now, as you begin to invite more people and we get closer to adding 5 team members, my house is getting a little bit overcrowded. Some of you might be able to relate if you have more than 1 child, or you have a lot of toys, or you just have a lot of stuff all over and you have everybody now moving back home. So what's going to happen is that you are going to want to start looking towards getting your own home. So that means you're going to start moving a little bit more towards looking for a mortgage. Nobody really wants a mortgage now, do they? But in order for us to get out on our own and to grow in our business and to grow as adults, we make that step. All right. So now you actually have 5 team members on your team. So there's some things that you're going to want to think about. When you add these team members, it means you're going to definitely have your own house if you do the following things. Number one is all of you on the team would have to submit at least 150 in sales to be active. It sounds, sometimes people get intimidated by 150, but I always laugh and chuckle because I always say $200 makes a qualified party. So if you have one qualified party, you're active. But we never want to set our sights so low. One of the things I learned in this program I'm doing is you always want to set your goals 2 steps ahead of what you think you might not ever accomplish. Because if you only set it 1 step ahead, then you're going to settle for something that is right in front of you that you could have possibly achieved 2 levels higher. So you always want to go 2 steps ahead of you. So if you're aiming to be a director and get 5 team members, aim for 7 or 8. It's going to put you that much further along. Also with your sales, aim and tell your team members, let's have a goal, and we're going to all work towards submitting at least 500 in sales. It will solidify you as a team. It's going to build everybody's booking schedule because you're going to be in front of more people, and it's going to build your paychecks also. Now, even though everybody on your team only would have to submit at least 150 in sales, you yourself personally would need to submit at least 750 in sales. Most of our organization that are active submit over this every single month. So this I'm not worried about for many of you. In addition to this, the third thing that your team would need to do is submit a total of at least $5,000 in sales. So that can be divided up any way you look at it. But when you take the $5,000, and I told you, as a leader, you want to aim for $2,500 or more every month, what that means is you're putting in half the work of your team. Now, I'll tell you, my personal thing is I usually will aim to have 5,000 in sales. So I like to have a full calendar because I never want to lose directorship or think that anybody on our team has contributed us to losing it. To me, this is my goal, to be your leader and be a role model for you. So what I want to do is be able to support us that we stay a green director team at all times and encourage you to do what works best for you in your lives. But of course, I like to challenge you to go a little higher, right? You guys know that. So now you promote, you own your own home. What does this really mean? Well, if you don't ever get recognition or patted on the back for what you do, this, my friends, is going to change your lives. Number one is you're going to get a pay raise. So not just a little pay raise, you're going to make overrides on all your team members plus a higher commission. In addition to this, you are going to be recognized at national conference. Directors wear red, and when you go to national conference and see a sea of red people that promote it, you're going to want to be that person. So it's so exciting. If you promote before May 31st of this year, you will get to walk stage at national conference, your name announced, and everybody will be congratulating you. And by everybody, I'm talking thousands of people. So it's a really super exciting moment in your life. The other thing that you're going to have is the fact that you are going to be invited to a private party at national conference. As a first-time achiever, a lot of times you also get invited to a first-time achiever event. And 2 years ago, Warren Buffett was your speaker, and you got to sit one-on-one with him and talk about the business opportunity. When I promoted to a director, we had a bunch of different inspirational speakers that were so motivating. So every year is something different, but it is huge. So it's a private party, stage recognition. You are also going to then have that first-time achiever. And of course, we celebrate as an organization for you. So you will be swarmed with recognition. You also will get 3,000 points for every person that joins your team, and they qualify. Amazing, because right now, if you would promote to a director, that's 15,000 points towards Disney. So that's incredible for you. Now remember, you're helping them reach their sales goals. You'll get trip points, and you'll make that 1% override. But they're going to get that nice commission check also because you're helping lead them in sales. And the other thing that's going to happen is your trip points go down. When you're a director, you need less trip points. So instead of the normal amount, you go down by, I think it's 6,000 points for this trip. So it's 6,000 points less that you need to earn. And my absolute personal favorite, see, in my full-time job, I'm lucky if we get an email Christmas card. So for me, this was huge. Every single season when I'm a director, which since I promoted, I've always stayed a director, I get what's called a director box. But I don't want it anymore. I want all of you to have them. Because every season when you stay active as a director, you automatically get the products for free for every new season. So when I say this business is a no risk, no investment, I'm not kidding, as long as you work your business. So it's such an amazing opportunity. Plus, you could earn them, so you could actually get all the products double. So it's definitely amazing. My husband can tell you all about what those double products look like because they're in my basement currently right now from this past week from the new season. So sometimes I think he's ready to kill me, but it's okay. I don't care. I love it. Okay, so just to recap real fast with you guys. So just for instance, you want to own your home and you're ready to move out of my house. What you would need is 5 team members with $150 minimum sales. So say in March you add your 5 people, they all submit your sales, and then you submit $750 as an individual, but as a team you submit $5,000. That means April 1st you will promote to a director. And if you think I'm completely crazy by saying you could promote 5 people in March, I'm telling you it's done. It's possible. You can do this, and I will help you every step of the way. Okay, so now let's continue on. Now what I want you to do, just for a minute, close your eyes. I'm all about visualizing. This is the teacher in me because you want to get into the role of this, okay? You get a letter in the mail. You open it. You read the words, congratulations, printed huge. You have qualified for your own home and you have become a director with the Pampered Chef. However, not only are you being recognized with your letter, your box of new products are arriving in April because you are going to get the most current season. So it doesn't matter when you promote, you'll get those most current season. You've become a leader and you are going to be recognized at Team Training's National Conference. You get to wear a dress. And guess what? A sash or even a tiara. Something fun because that's what we do for all the new directors. And you're going to be invited to a private party, just like a housewarming when you get a new house. But even better yet, you've become a role model for everybody on your team and everybody you share the business with from this point forward. So now, remember we talked a little bit ago, you could open your eyes if you didn't already. So imagine what that would feel like to have all that recognition. I mean, honest to goodness, our full-time jobs do not recognize everything we do. And anybody that's been with me, you know what we earn. This company is amazing. But now there's something to keep in mind. Just like any home that you purchase, there comes responsibilities and there comes a mortgage payment every single month. So one of the things that you have to keep in mind is that you need to maintain your status as a director with the company. You want to continue to invite people, even if you're scared, and you want to continue to ask people to join your neighborhood. The more people that join your neighborhood, the easier that $5,000 mortgage is every month to hit that sales goal. So in your minds, you may be wondering, well, what happens if I don't hit that $5,000? Well, just like your mortgage, there's always a grace period, isn't there? Now, you don't want to take advantage of that grace period because you want to stay in good standing. So you will have a grace period for up to 3 months. But if you go past your 3 months of grace period, it means you're no longer a homeowner and you have to move back into my house. Nobody likes to move back into my house, right? We would rather be next door neighbors in our community of cool kids. So how do you prevent this from happening? Well, you prevent it from happening by adding 8 shows to your schedule at all times. Now, you know, as I always say, I don't care how you get them. 8 is great. So catalogs, virtuals, home shows, it doesn't matter. And I always tell everybody, if you could do like 3 or 4 shows, you could do 8, 10, or 20, because that's just the reality of those virtuals. And I'm going to help you, so don't worry. You'll know what you need to do. And you want to make sure you continue to invite your members regularly. Now, one thing I forgot to mention is the fact that when you add your new team members, you are also going to have the opportunity. It doesn't have to be 5 people under you. It could be 2 people that you have, and then your people, those 2 people might recruit other people. So it's a tier system in the fact that any way that you have 5 people below you, you could promote to a director. And then you can maintain that status by any one of you adding new team members. But you as a leader must lead. And as an inspirational leader, you want to make sure that people follow in your footsteps. So recruiting is a big part of that. And you want to make sure that you too are recruiting, not just the people below you. Now, some people might panic and say, well, it's a tiered system. Don't worry. After director status, at any given point, you could surpass somebody in the company. So when you move out and own your own home, you could pass me. And not that I could move into your home, but you could definitely pass me in levels within our business. Now, I know many of you, this might sound scary to you, okay? You know, when we're talking about all of this, I get that. When my director talked to me about it, I thought she was completely crazy. And I ignored her. I told her there's no way in heck I want a team because I thought I was bothering people. I'm sure many of you on the other end can relate to that right now. You feel like you're going to bother somebody and that you're begging them. And, you know, it was a whole mindset for me. And then when I went to our national conference, which I highly recommend, there's my national conference blurb. My eyes opened to a whole bigger thing to understand what it's all about. So I'm sure some of you are scared, just like I was. But if you're not scared doing it, it means that your goals are not big enough. Because if you tippy-toe around and nothing's ever scary to you, it means you're not setting your sights on what you could possibly achieve. You want to set goals that could scare you because it's going to make it that much more rewarding when you accomplish it. Okay? So I'm sure each of you could think of something in your life that you did scared. And when you did it and then you accomplish it, I mean, how amazing. Like I think back to like when I had the kids. Like I had a horrible pregnancy and it was terrible, but then in the end and you have that baby, it's just so rewarding, right? You know, or something that's really, really hard, like, you know, if you're finishing a degree and you're so exhausted and you're so stressed and you just want to give up and, you know, it's almost like you're running that marathon and you could barely cross that finish line, but when you do it, it's like the most rewarding feeling in the world. This, my friends, will be even better. Trust me. Well, maybe not better than having your kids, because I know you love your children, but it will be very rewarding to you. So think back when you were a child. Did you have fear? Because a lot of times we think children are fearless, right? They'll do anything. They don't care what it is, you know? But you went and did it anyways, even if you were scared as a child, because this is just what you were like. So as we get to become adults, for some reason, we get this fear and anxiety over us, and we shouldn't let it overcome our lives. So don't let fear control your lives. Now, if you're sitting here today and you're scared to ask people about hosting parties, scared to up your show schedule because maybe right now you're comfortable, scared to invite new team members to your neighborhood, don't worry. Everything you're feeling is natural. It's the same process we've all gone through. Remember in the beginning when we talked about how you have the power to change lives? Even though you may have to get a little bit uncomfortable, there are people out there that are worth melting for, just like Olaf says. There are people out there that we must take risks on. People that we must believe in. I want you to think now, who believes in you? You know, I'll be honest, I don't have family support. I didn't when I started. My husband kind of thought I was crazy. My family to this day don't support me, you know, and I think I look back and I thank Grace Spot for believing in me, because if she didn't, I don't know where I'd be, you know, and it's been such a blessing to our family. And I believe in all of you, and I know that you guys could all succeed. You know, what happens if you could help a mom stay at home and be a stay-at-home mom with her baby? Or maybe you know somebody out there right now that has elderly parents and they're struggling because their daytime job, they can't get off work. So what happens if you get to be that person to give them that opportunity to have that flexibility? What happens if you're a parent right now yourself, or know a parent right now that's going through some medical problems? I always think of Amy Green. Amy comes to mind all the time. I just love her. She was with me. She's one of my girls that's been with me all along. And she could tell you more about Jax, but she was able to give up things and do Pampered Chef to be with him as he goes through his kidney issues and the dialysis. You know, what happens if you get to be that person that makes that impact? I mean, people are going to be forever grateful to you for what you empowered them with. Maybe you're going to be that person that helps a family keep their home because they almost went into foreclosure, or pay off a car, or put the next set of groceries on their table. When people tell you no for booking parties, you don't know what's in the background of their lives. You don't know why they're saying no to you. And that's why I constantly say you can't compare, and you cannot ever in this business take no personally because you don't know why. You don't. Everybody has things going on in their lives, but sometimes we're sent to them to be their saving grace in a time of need. And that's what I want you to think about every time you go forward asking for parties and asking people to join your business, to join the team with you. Because you're not asking them to do it for you. You're asking them to do it because you have something to share with them. Now, I'm going to give everybody a second to kind of look through this. I don't want to read it out loud because I will cry. But not everybody knows my backstory. And one of the things I heard on our leadership call just recently was, if your why does not make you cry, it means your why is not big enough. So often I'm not going to lie, I gave generic whys. Oh, why did I do it? I did it for my family for extra money. I did. I was doing it, but there was more to that story that I don't always publicly share, but you're my family, so I am sharing. There's reasons why every day I put on my big girl pants on the suckiest of days, and I do Pampered Chef, and I take in the 40 no's I get, and I keep plugging away. It's one of those things where when you're put in a situation and you have to do what you got to do sometimes. And even though this was a couple of years later, it kind of spoke to me at that time, and everything just came back, and I'm like, this is my why. This is why I choose to stay. This is why in my mind I really decided to do it without telling everybody. And honestly, I stay now for so many more reasons. This is obviously one reason I stay for, but I stay because of the friendships I built with customers and guests and hosts. I stay because of all of you. I hope that you're able to look at me as somebody that you could come to and that will help you and support you. I love leadership. I never thought I would. I was the girl saying, yeah, right, I'm not building. I don't want my own house. I'm staying in Grace's forever, And I didn't realize the impact it can make until I went to national conference, and I finally invested in myself in doing this. And now my hope is that we as a team can grow even stronger and even bigger. So again, this is my financial freedom in a way that some maybe don't understand, but for me, this is what did it. So I want you to think about, when I always ask everybody, what's your why? Are you giving me a generic why? Is there more of a why to it? I'm sure there is. And it's okay to be honest and vulnerable and cry. Because when you're crying, it means you're committed to why you're doing this. And it means that you're going to drive this with your passion. And when you're passionate, you're going to have people join you in this business, because that's what they're going to see. They're going to see how much you believe in it and that you believe in them. So why? You want to keep everything in your forefront of all you do. You want to stay focused. Think about your why. You'll notice my quote that we all have greater reason behind the scenes on why we do something or why we keep doing something. Your why can be personal, but keep it in front of you. So now my why is my center that keeps driving me, but over time I have built a purpose as to why I stay. When you first start, it is hard to see what the Pampered Chef can offer you and offer people that you're asking to join the business with you. But when you invest your time in others, you will see what an asset you are to them and what you can help them achieve in their lives. You'll become that go-to girl when they need a recipe. You'll become that consultant that everybody refers. You'll become the one that they book with every single June because you are their annual in their life. Just like you have an annual gynecologist appointment, you become their annual appointment every year. I'm not kidding. I have quite a few of those. Vanessa, did you save me a date? Yes, I did, Peggy. We're ready, girl. You become that constant that they need. And 9 times out of 10, it's not for products. It's because they like you. You're the reason why people host. You're the connection. That's why I always say to you online, do not put up the desperation of, who wants to book a party? Don't do that. We all put it up there. We're all guilty. But the connection's what's going to set you apart.